What up, and welcome. I am Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel, Coded Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. In this video, we're just going to take a deep dive on Figma. Without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. What is Figma? Figma is an online graphic design software right on the same level with Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW, and Photoshop. So what I'm trying to say is it is a fully fledged graphic design software. If it has limitations, obviously those are minor limitations as compared to some other applications that are online for graphic design. Figma, it's very professional and it's packed with a lot of features. Why would you use Figma? Obviously, primarily I'm a CorelDRAW specialist, but I also do work with Illustrator and Photoshop. When you get into the design industry, you start with one software, but the experience and the work environment might require you to learn some other softwares as well. For instance, in printing industry, client might submit Adobe Illustrator files that you have to print, or they must submit PSD file, even though maybe the company might primarily work with CorelDRAW. So you'll find out that due to the experience, you will end up being versatile and working with other softwares. But primarily, I've been working with desktop graphic design software, or desktop based, not online based. So the advantages of Figma as compared to, let's say, your traditional graphic design software are: number one, integrating it with like using other assets. For instance, if you want to download a picture from the internet, you just copy and paste. You don't have to download it locally, or it doesn't take much time, just like the application that run on a desktop. And also in terms of icons, obviously when you are designing a poster or whatever, more especially infographic, you use a lot of icons and also a picture as well, or PNG. With that on Figma, it's seamless and it's easy and it's quicker, and it has got a lot of different files and icons that you can just use without any effort, as compared to having to download SVG locally to your machine and then copy and paste to a graphic design application software. So that's about it for me. I don't want to lie, I regret the time I took, or the resistance that was in me on learning Figma. Now that I've started with it, I'm enjoying it. It's very interesting, and also it comes with a free version that is packed with a lot of things. So without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. So if you have a new account or you've registered on Figma, when you click when you click figma.com, this is your welcome screen. This is my name. Let's just click here. This is where you log out. These are just the basics. I haven't used most of these because this course is just going to be about creating or graphic design or designing something. Okay, so if you scroll down here, you can see these are the files that I did. Not this one, but starting from here, these are my YouTube thumbnails, and that is it. So these are your files. So let's just get here and say create a new file. Okay, this is a new screen. This is a screen for a new file, and then as you can see, these are your buttons. So let's start here. This is where you will rename your file in Figma. Let's say test file. Okay, this is your test file. Now in standard desktop based application, you will create a new file. Obviously, maybe in Adobe Illustrator it will be a new artboard, and then in CorelDRAW it will be a new page. So in Figma, you've got a frame. Where do you find a frame? This is where you find a frame. You've got a frame and a section. At the moment, I haven't used a section. Also, there are some shortcuts. You can just click F for a frame. So let's just click on the frame. As you can see on your right, you've got different types of standard frames, or the default frames. For instance, they are grouped according to the devices. If you want to to create create for mobile, you've got your phone here. These are all different types of phone. If you want to create for tablet, obviously these are tablet. For desktop, these are for desktop, and presentation and so forth. As you can see, also Figma has the paper version. Okay, and that is it when it comes to the frames. So also you can create your custom frame by clicking here and then dragging. You left click and drag, and then you create whatever frame that you want. And then what the other thing that you can do now, this is your custom frame, and you can size it here and change the width and the height. And then when you click on the frame, as you can see here, you can change the width of the frame. Let's say 1280. This is the width, and the height is, I want it to be 720. And then from there, as you can see, we don't see the whole we don't see the frame, the whole frame. So what we can do, we can just press Shift 1 to fit it into screen. So as you can see now, it's on our screen. So if we want to zoom in and zoom out, you can just press on your number keypad plus or minus, which is we can press plus, we are zooming in, minus, we are zooming out, as you can see. Okay, and we are zooming out. Okay, and we are zooming out, and basically that's it. If you want to fit it on screen, we can press Shift and 1. Okay, that's about it for zooming. Now let's just try to put any shape on the screen. Okay, now we've got these tools. This tool here, the move tool. So that means, as the name suggests, you just take this item and you move it wherever you want to. So it's a move tool. Okay, and then at the same time you can press K. Yes, this is one is V, and you can press K to scale. Okay, what is the difference between a move tool and a scale tool? Let me show you with a text. Okay, let me show you with a text. Okay, if we have pressed V and this is a move tool, look when I'm trying to scale this text object. You can see there is a boundary around it, and then the boundary increases the width and height, but not the text itself. Now let's switch to scale. Okay, let's do the same thing. As you can see that the text scales also. So let's switch to move, so that we can decrease this boundary or this container, and then from then switch back to scale and then scale it. Okay, so with your desktop graphic design application like CorelDRAW and Photoshop, when you click on something, obviously it doesn't scale the boundary. In most cases, you will be able to resize. Let me press V. You will be able to resize the actual text. Let me press K for scaling. You will be able to resize the text, more especially on CorelDRAW. This is the case, you just resize without any problem. So maybe when you are new into Figma, you might find some difficulties where when you want to scale something, anything, you will see this. This is what I've struggled with when it was my first time using Figma. It gave me a tough time. So that's how you change it. You change it from here. It's either you use a move tool or a scale tool. So for now, let's change it to move tool. Okay, let's move to here. Here we already know that this is a frame, so that means this is the frame that we've created. Okay, and then from then, these are your shapes or your graphic design shape. Let's say you want to create a navigation bar for your website, let's say. And then this is what you will do. This is your nav bar. let's just give it a different color. Okay, obviously this is your navbar. So this a rectangle or square tool, you can change it however you want it. You can do whatever you want. Then let's just click here and change the radius. As you can see that if you want to make it rounded corners, you can also click on the object and change it here and make the rounded corners. So these are just basic shapes. This is a line. You can draw a line. As you can see, you can draw a line. As you can see, you can draw a line and then you can move it around and scratch it. What else? Let's try to edit the node. As you can see, you can also edit the node. Okay, you can see you can create also a node to make your line a zigzag line when you want to. So you can make a zigzag line. So that is it for the line. I don't usually use a line tool. Now let's check another one. This one, it's an arrow. Okay, as you can see, this is just an arrow, and then this one is an ellipse. Okay, as you can see, it draws a circle on your screen. However, let's say when you want to draw a perfect circle, you press shift, and then you press shift and you left click, and then you drag or you use your mouse to move it up and down, and then here you can draw a perfect circle rather than a circle that is not perfect. Okay, I think that will be about it when it comes to your basic shapes. And then let's look at the pen tool. This is the most important tool that as a graphic designer you must be able to use. A pen tool, it's for drawing custom lines and also for making custom shape. So how you use a pen tool, this is how you use it, or this is how the pen tool works. You click a node as a starting point, and then you move to whatever way you want. So if you want to draw a straight line, you can just click here and move it to another place or to a different position, and then you click, as you can see. However, at some point you might want to draw some curves, or you don't want to draw a straight line, you want to draw some curve a little bit. Okay, so now here you don't just click once, you click and drag at the same time. So let's test it. You click and drag at the same time. As you can see that now it's showing you that you can make your curve. And then as you are dragging, it's very important to look at this line that looks like a tangent to a curve in mathematical terms. So you look at that line. That line helps you to see or to help you with visually determining the curvature of a line. For instance, if this line is straight, like straight with your actual line, as you can see, the line is straight, but the more you move it up a little bit this side or to this side, as you can see that your line is bending. So once you let it go, and then this is how it is. So as you can see, it's more like bending, it's more like elastic, I can say. Then you can also click again and drag, and then click again and drag. So this helps you to draw custom shapes. So we will use this pen tool the most when we are trying to retrace a logo and when we are removing a background. So if you want to also witness that and to see it, please help me by subscribing so that I can notify you with the future videos. But in this video, this is gonna be a one-time thing. I'm gonna record it. It's going to be a one-time course, not gonna be a series. So this is how you draw your shape, and then if you want to color it, okay, you just click on it. And you come here, you scroll down, you look at the fill, you say add, then you can change the color here. Okay, that's a pen tool. Then this one is a pencil tool, it's not important. And then we've got a text tool. We've already worked with a text tool. Okay, let's just type on here and see what happens. As you can see that this boundary or the edge doesn't expand automatically, so meaning that we have to come here and move it so that the text might fit inside it. Okay, as you can see, so there are some settings for this behavior. For instance, let's just click on the text and then let's move up and down a little bit. Let's move up and down and we click here. Okay, as you can see, resizing. So if we click here, it's auto width. That means the width is automatic. That means as we type, it will increase or decrease as we are typing, as you can see. So it's not like it's fixed, it's just like the last time. And then we can also go here. What else can we do? Let me just type 2 lines, the shorter one and the longer one. Okay, let me move this to here. Okay, let me move this. Let's use what we have learned so far with the move tool and the scaling tool. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to press K on my keyboard so that I can scale this down. Okay, scale it down a little bit. I'm happy with that. And then we can go to the text. Okay, and then as you can see here, we can just go back here to the settings. And then what we were trying to do, we were going to check these alignment tools. As you can see here, it's aligned left, but if you want to center it, text align, then you can center your text, align to the right, and then justify. I think this is, yeah, align, justify. So as you can see, there's a lot of cool stuff here that you can work with. That will be about it for this part. And then scaling, obviously, it's which is when we press K, scaling the text. It's a quick way of resizing the text. In my case, I like scaling because number one, it's easier. I don't do a lot of things. I don't move my mouse around a lot, and also I quickly make the change that I want to do. Maybe it might happen I'm an impatient designer, or I like to do things very quick. But however, if you don't want to use the scaling, there is also another way, where the traditional way, where you will set the font size. As you can see here, you can set the font size. This is how you can do it also. Now let's work on the text itself and change the colors and other things. So one thing to notice, whenever you are clicking on an object here, or even this one, all softwares they are just like this. Whenever you click an object, there are some certain panels that are changing according to the object that we have selected. So it's very important to notice that, because at some point you will feel like you don't see things and the software is not behaving the way you want it to behave. Whereas you've just forgot to highlight or to select the object of interest. For instance, when you just click on your frame, as you can see that there's lesser options here, but if you click on an object, this changes. So let's just put this aside because we were on the text. So when you click on the text, as you can see, these are the things that you can do with the text. So here we can change the font family or the font type, or change the typeface. As you can see, these are different fonts. Okay, and then from then we have used this one. You are changing the font size. Okay, and then here, this is the line height. Okay, let's just check it and see. This is the line height. You see, so this is the height. So if this is a line, each line, and then when the line height is 0, it's going to be something like this. It's very close. Let me just remove the fill and add a stroke, and let's make it red. So the line height is more like the margin top and the margin bottom of each line. So as you can see, once we adjust here, you see, so now the spaces between line increases. Okay, and then let's check this one, the letter spacing. The letter spacing is a distance between each letter in a string or in a word, and that's about it. This one is a paragraph spacing. This one is important. I haven't used it. So for now, let's just stick to these ones, because these are the ones that we are going to use as when we are doing a design, when we are implementing what we have learned, because in the end we have to create a poster or a YouTube thumbnail or something practical and tangible. Okay. And what else? Let's just play around with these ones. You are just centering things as we did before, and then from then, this is a fill tool. You can change the color of your text, and then also when you click on any shape, there is a fill tool and there is a stroke tool. So as you can see here, I'm just going to delete the fill tool, the fill color, and then I'm going to add a stroke color. As you can see now, the color is on the boundary. Okay, since we are already on colors, let's just add color variables, I can say. So meaning that here in Figma, also on other graphic design application, for instance Illustrator has it, and also Adobe XD has this feature where you can save your colors for future use and also for consistency of the project. Let's just make a very rough and simple user interface, or some sort of a wireframe. Let's say we have designed, we are designing a wireframe. Okay, let's say we are designing a wireframe. So let me just press Ctrl D for duplicating, and I'm gonna press maybe 3 times more, and then from then we are saying this is our wireframe. Let's say this is our wireframe. Okay, we're just designing a simple thing for illustration. Let's say this is our wireframe and we are happy with it. This is screen number 1. Then I'm going to highlight it all and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. So that means I've made a copy of the same thing. Now we want to change these colors. Maybe this is what we think we will go with. Then the client, let's say the client has made some changes in our user interface design. They say, no, I like this blue color instead of green. So it means that if you don't use your color variables, that will mean that you have to go here and change all of these to blue. However, there is a better way to go about it, and that will be to create a style, a color style, or a color variable. I think I'm calling it a color variable because I'm used to CSS, because CSS has got variables. That's where you store your own colors. But however, this is not a CSS course, this is a Figma course. Okay, so going forward, let's just leave everything like this, and then what we are going to do, we are going to create a color style. Okay, let's just click here and then add a style. Let's click here, as you can see here on the fill tool, add a style, and then from then, if it's not there, let's create it. Let's add here plus, and then from then let's name this blue. Okay, and then create the style. As you can see now, it's a style, so meaning that we can change everything here, highlight everything and go to the fill and then choose a style and choose the blue as a style. My apologies for this Windows thing. Okay, we click here, that means everything is blue. Okay, now let's just go to the background, highlight the background only and just change its color. Okay, remove the style on that one and change the color back to that gray. As you can see, now we are having a blue color applied to this component and this component. In fact, let's say this shape, because component means something else in Figma. We've got the style applied to these different shapes. Then let's do the same thing. Let's duplicate and create our second layout. Let's say this is our second layout. Okay, this is our second layout. We like the way it is. And now the client come and say, nah, I don't like this color. Can we change the color? And you said yes. And I said, okay, fine. Can you do that for me? Let's play around colors. And then what you are going to do, you are going to just go to your color style, click on your color style. Let's double click, or let's just click this settings button, and then from then you can do whatever you want with your client on making changes. As you can see now, you are making one change on a color style and it affects the whole design. Imagine if you have, let's say, 50 or more than 50 screens. So it will mean that you just change it in one place and then it changes everywhere. Since we are here on colors, let me just teach you a thing or two about colors and how I use them. So usually, let's talk about a color palette. I hope you understand what a color palette is. Let's just quickly go to Google and search a color palette so that you can have an idea of what is a color palette and also how could you get one. In most cases, this is how I do it. So I just go to Google and search for color palette. So colors are very important, and also it's important for you as a designer to come up with colors that are complementary, that work. I'm not sure that that looks beautiful when you blend them. So obviously this is not an easy task. Like, it depends, and there's a lot of factors. Color palettes for apps are different, for color palette for posters and color palette for business presentation, you see. So since we are in colors, let me just teach you a thing or two about color palette and how I approach it, the coloring. Okay, so what I usually do, even in graphic design and even in web design, this is the same principle that I do. I always have 3 colors at most. 3 colors. I don't use more than 3 colors in my design, unless it's something like it's for a YouTube thumbnail, something that has to be saturated and overly attractive or bright or catchy, because YouTube thumbnails have to be like that. But in terms of a professional design client for a work, or I'm creating an identity system, or I am creating a logo, I just use 2 or 3 colors. So what I will do, I will name my first color as a primary color. So let's say now our UI has got like more than one color, let's say. So this is what I will do. I will create a style and name that style a primary color. That will mean, let's say this is our primary color, so it will mean that I'm going to come here, let me edit this style. Okay, this is what I will do. I will say this is my primary color. This is my primary color. Okay, and then we will have to find a color that goes hand in hand with this one. It's more like let's say a complementary color. So let's try different styles. First of all, let's add a style. Okay, let's add a style. Click here, minus, nope. Okay, let me do this rather. Okay, and then we click here and then we add a style. We say secondary color. Okay, here we are searching, sorry about that. We click on add and then we say secondary color. Okay, what we want to do, okay, let me zoom in by pressing plus. Okay, and click the hand so that you can see what we are doing. Okay, click OK. Okay, that is it, and then we click on this one, on the style, and then we change the color. Okay, let me just click here. Okay, we click here. It looks like we didn't add a style. Let's check our styles. Okay, we only have one style, that's not a problem. Let's go and create secondary color. Maybe we didn't save it. Secondary color, and then this is the color. We don't have a problem with that. Create a style. Okay, and then now we want to edit the style. Okay, let's go to the styles. Okay, just a moment. Let's go to the style, secondary color. Yes, okay, let's do it like this. Sorry for that. Okay, what I want to do. No, this is not what I want. Okay, no, anti-touch. That's not what I want. Okay, settings. This is what I want. Okay, and then from there, not really. Okay. Okay, let me just test this one. Okay, it's fine. Let's click OK there. Okay, as you can see that the background also has got the same style. So let's just unlink the style from the background and go back to that gray. This is the gray that we had. So what we want, we only want the style. We only want this or the secondary color style only on this shape. So as you can see that we've got the primary color, which is a little bit bluish, and then we've got this orange color, and then let's just put the last color, or let's just stick with one for now for the sake of teaching. So as you can see here, we've got a primary color and a secondary color. So this is what I think, or I will suggest, you must take it as a tip, or must be your new approach to graphic design. Always stick to 2 colors, or at least 3 colors, that form an identity of, let's say, the logo, or the brand, or your theme, your user interface, or whatever that you do. Even in posters it works sometimes, unless you are creating a funky poster, then you can use multiple colors. So here, as you can see, we've got a primary color and we've got also a secondary color. So it means that even if we can use the other color here, let me change and add. As you can see that now our application, or our user interface, has got 2 colors, the primary one and the secondary one. Obviously, these are not the only colors that you can use. Colors such as background and white for text, you don't really count them as like your colors, your basic colors, because they can always change. They are just variation. For instance, in any coloring system, at some point you are going to have color black and you are going to have color white. So that doesn't mean that color forms part of your whole color system. So basically, with color styles, you can easily change like multiple pages at once, and they will just take that same color, as you have seen here. If we want to change our color palette, we will just go here. We will just go here, change our primary color, and then change just click here and then change our secondary color, and then change our secondary color. And that is it. As you can see that the theme of our user interface has changed. Okay, since we are already here, let me just quickly show you how you arrange elements, how you bring elements to the back and how you bring elements to the front. So as you can see that this element, sorry about that, let me press shift 1 to fit everything on screen. As you can see, this element is, or let's say this shape is in front of this one. So we can just right click here, right click on this shape, bring to front and send back. Or you can just click these symbols here, these square brackets, the right one and the left one, to bring things to the back or to the front. So let's just send it to the back, and then right click and send it to the front. And that is it. Also, we can group items together. You click on this shape and then you hold shift and then you click on this one, and then from there you group them, group selection. As you can see now, when you move this one, also the other one moves. Okay, what else? I think that's about it. Okay, meanwhile, while we are still here on colors and color palette, let's just talk about Figma libraries, because this is the most interesting thing about Figma. Everything has been organized, it's within reach. So it means that you don't really have to go to the internet and search for things and what. So you just have to do everything on Figma. So let me just put a shape here. So what you can do, you can right click here and check your plugins. Plugins, yes, and then find more plugins, and then from here you say palette. As you can see, these are the palettes that I've already installed, the plugins for color palette that I've already installed. Let me try something that I have not installed. Let me run this one. This is how you will install it. You run it. Basically, these plugins are helping you to generate color palettes. Color is very important in graphic design. You must go and research about color theories and other things. If you've got it wrong, then your design looks cheap. It doesn't look premium. It doesn't really communicate what it's supposed to communicate. Okay, let me just maybe here I have to change the color. Okay, let me say generate color palette. Okay, as you can see that now we've got a range of colors. So what we can do, let's say in whatever that we were designing, we can just come here and click the dark color. Okay, let's say this is going to be our dark color, and then let's Control D to duplicate this and resize it, and then this is going to be our light color. Okay, let's change it and use this one. But I don't really see it. Okay, let me just put it inside so that I can easily see it. So as you can see that we've just installed a plugin and it generated a color palette for us. So that's about it with the shapes and color palettes and other things. So let's just quickly draw custom shapes. Let's say let me go Shift 1. Okay, let's say we've got this shape, and then we want to draw something else. Let's say this is what we are drawing. Not really sure what is this. Let's say for some reason we want some sort of to weld or combine this shape and this one. Okay, let's just give this one a color. Okay, close this. Okay, click here, go to fill, click one of these. Here, go to fill, click one of these so that they can have different colors. Remove the stroke, don't really need the stroke. And then what we can do, we can click this one, hold Shift and click on this one. As you can see, now that we have clicked multiple shapes, just observe here in this toolbar. If we click one shape, nothing happened, but if we click multiple shape, look what happened. So what we can do here, we can manipulate shape. This tool or effect or feature is always available in all graphic design applications, with the professional one, not your Paint, Windows Paint, and your simple things, and your PicMix. Your PicMix and mobile application for editing photos, and they are not professional graphic design software. So if we're talking about a professional graphic design software, it's software that is used in design agencies and printing industries. So what we are going to do now, we are going to combine this shape, you see. So here it's called a union. So we click here. As you can see, now this square and the custom shape, they become one shape. Okay, now let's say we don't really like this part, so this is what we can do. Let me just take an ellipse, and then we want to remove this part so that it can be curvy like this. Okay, and then this is what we can do. Let's try subtract. As you can see, we have subtracted it. So you can play around. You can play around this option, this feature, but it helps when you are designing logos or you are designing icons. This comes very handy when you are designing icons. There's a lot of things that you can do: intersect, extrude. You can go and try and test those. Okay, so that means we have done at least a lot of things. Now let's just start a simple project and see what we can do. Okay, let's go to our libraries. Okay, let's just go to the plugin and check. I want a plugin for photos. So this is the interesting part about Figma. Everything is being organized for you. I think it helps on improving the productivity. Instead of going to Google and search for pictures and what, you can just run this photo plugin, and then that's it. You see, let's just click people, okay, and see what's there. And then let's just look for a very interesting picture. I think this is interesting, but let's just look for another one. If there is no interesting pic, and then we will. I like this one. Okay, let's take this one, copy this. The reason why I like this one, it has got that magazine look and feel. So let's say the problem that we have in this picture, in fact, let's just design a magazine cover. Let's just do that. So what we are going to do, let's delete this frame. Okay, it moves with the picture. Let's just cut the picture and let's delete this frame. Let's create a new frame, and then let's go to paper. Obviously we want A4. Okay, this is our A4. And then we paste the picture. Where is it now? Okay, this is the picture. So the problem that we have, let's say the problem that we have is that we want to have a different background, even though this is beautiful, but we are going to imitate this background. If we are creating a new background, it's not gonna be far from this one because I like this background. But let's say now, since we already got this background in the picture, we want to have a freedom. This is the exact scenario. This is the perfect scenario. We want to have a freedom to move the picture around. As you can see now, if we are moving the picture around, it moves with the background. It moves with the background. I don't see my frame here. Let me just say shift 1. Okay, just a moment. I don't see my A4 frame. Let me just press minus to zoom out. Okay, I think it's moving with my frame. Okay. Maybe I have pasted the picture as a background to my frame, of which I don't want that. Let me just click here on the frame and click A4. Okay, make sure that this is not selected and then paste. Let's see what's going to happen. Control V. Paste here. Let's see. Okay, let's just do it again and go to our plugin and look for photos. Okay, so our project, we are going to create a magazine page, a magazine cover. So we might not find that the similar picture. To me, it's fine. Any picture that can work, it's fine. Okay, here's the picture. Copy it and then paste. Okay, am I in a hurry or what? Okay, maybe I'm in a hurry. Let me just relax a little bit. Okay, oh, I think I have to upgrade. I think so. So I think I have to upgrade. So that means the trial has expired. That's fine. Let's just use another plugin. Pixels. Let's just use another plugin. Let's just search. I hope this one is going to be fast, because the last time I used it, it was too slow. That's why I have changed it. It was very, very, very slow. What we can do, we can use the web version of this plugin. So we can just use the web version of this plugin and say people. Okay, obviously our project will change based on the picture that we want to speed up the process, instead of defining a project and look for a picture that suits that purpose. Okay. Okay, I don't like that dog. I think at this point in time we can just take any picture. This one will work. This one will work. Okay, let me paste. As you can see, this one is still searching. It was too slow. Okay, let's paste the picture. Did I copy the picture, or I'm doing something wrong? I'm not sure. Okay, let me just try for this time. Copy image. Okay, let me paste it. Let's see, it looks like it's not pasting. Let me just delete this and create a new frame. Okay, copy and then paste. Okay, let me zoom out and see it doesn't paste. That's not a problem. That's not much of a problem. We always have got some different ways to do things. That's not a train smash on documents. Okay, and then we go to, let's close this one. Right click, open folder. Okay, where is that folder? Here is the picture. Okay, so we are going to drag this picture and drop it here. No, we want to drop it in this tab. Okay, voila. Okay, now let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay, now the first lesson that I'm going to teach you is how to remove the background. So I'm going to be a little bit quick because we have delayed somewhere when we were trying to add the picture. So I'm going to press plus to zoom. Obviously the picture is not a good quality, but that's not a problem, because in real life you will find pictures that are not a good quality. So what we're going to do, we need to use a pen tool. That's where your pen tool skills are more important. So what you do, or what I do when I'm cutting an image, I don't cut outside the actual boundary of the image, my interested region. I always stick like more like inside a little bit. You will see the reason why on the final project. So I hope now you can see how to use a pen tool. Obviously I'm not going to be what's this thing, super perfect, or I'm not going to be perfect. I'm just going to create something like it for the sake of teaching. So at home, or if you are following, you can just do it nicely. Okay, let me just click here. Let me just check down. Okay, no, this is not what I want. Okay, this is what I want. Let's zoom in. Okay, I want this. Undo. Okay, undo. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's just do a very rough one. just a rough one. Is this picture just like this? No, it's not like that. It's supposed to be full. Let's just click down, see what might be the problem. Okay, let's delete this. Zoom this picture out. Sorry about that. Okay, happy with that. Let's just zoom in again. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to make a rough thing, not a proper thing. I hope you get the idea. So in this lesson I will be teaching you how to mask something or a picture or any other thing. Okay, we are just going to mask this. Fortunately our picture has got a poor quality, but that is fine. Okay, will not make it that perfect. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are making use of a pen tool. A pen tool is a very important tool and interesting tool in graphic design. You can't be a professional graphic designer without using a pen tool, because in most cases you are going to use it when you are retracing, when you are masking. You use it in a lot of things. So in one of the graphic design tests that I took in a printing company, which is a franchise, I was asked to redraw or retrace a logo. I was told that the client has brought us an image of their logo and now we have to print a billboard. So that image is too small, it's pixelating, so I am required to retrace that logo. So I have used a pen tool. So now we are done. We are done with tracing the picture or with our mask. So we don't want the stroke. What we want the fill color. The fill color. Let's make it black. Make the fill color black. So the only thing that we are going to do now is to send this this mask to the back or the picture to the front. Move to front. Okay, so now the picture is on the front. Since we only have these two objects, I'm gonna highlight all of them and then we are going to click mask. Voila, that is it. Just a moment, I have to select not only one but all of this. Let me check now. Okay, no, at the moment I have selected the picture. I don't want to select the picture only, I want to select everything. Okay, as you can see. Okay, let me zoom out, or let me just fit into page, shift 1. So now everything fits into page. Okay, so let me highlight everything. Okay, it's changing the proportion. Let me highlight everything and press shift while I'm moving it. Okay, now what I'm going to try that I have not tried in Figma is to some sort of merge these files or flatten this image to make one image, so that this can just be one image, not two images or separate images. Let's see if we can first flatten. Let's see if we can flatten this. Flatten. Let's see. Now, yes. this we can flatten it, but now it's not what we were looking for. Okay, now it's not what we were looking for, and I think something has changed. Something has changed. Okay, oh, okay. Something has changed. Okay, I think this vector also has changed. It's not what it was, and this is a very big problem. This is a very big problem. As you can see now, when I'm trying to undo, things are not as perfect as we want. It's fine. What we can do, let's just put a background there. Let's just put a background, not this one. Okay, I think now things are mixed up a little bit. Okay, yeah, okay, I think this is where we were. This is 100% where we were. Let me group the items, group selection. Yeah, then I've got one item that I can scale. I'm happy with this. So what we are going to do here, we are going to quickly create something like a magazine page. Obviously it's gonna be simple, it's not going to be complicated. Okay, it's not going to be complicated. Let me send this to the back. Okay, and then let me choose a color. Okay, color style. Then we already had okay, this is the fill color. Okay, I want to put a style here. Okay, let me make it a dark a little bit. Okay, it's fine. Let me make it dark a little bit. Yes, I think I'm happy with this. Okay, then what we are going to do, done, we are going to type here test. Okay, and then since we are scaling this, we're gonna press V. Okay, sorry, let's press K so that we can scale it. Okay, then we duplicate this, scale it down, and then we change the name to magazine. Okay, and then let's work on, okay, let's work on the letter spacing. This is the line height. I don't want that. No, I want the letter spacing. Okay, then scale this down. Okay, undo, then Control K, then let's scale it down. Okay. Okay, I hope now you see how the letter spacing makes a cool effect here. Okay. Usually in magazine, I really don't know why, but in most magazine, the head of the subject, let me just move this on top, bring this up, the head of the subject, for some reason, it overlaps the name, this name, the name of the magazine itself. I don't know why. In most cases, it always looks like this, and I really don't know why. Okay, I think we are done with our magazine cover. Obviously, as you can see, it's basic. It's not as like interesting as I wanted to do it, but however, For the sake of time and also the challenges that we have faced in trying to come up with this, or in trying to learn something from what we are doing, it took like longer. So I don't want to prolong the whole course and make it complicated and make it long unnecessarily. But I hope you do get the idea of how do you remove a background, the importance of a pen tool, and some other things. So now what we are going to do, we are going to do the last test, and the last test will be to retrace a logo from the internet, which is a picture, so that we can apply all the techniques that we have learned so far. Okay, our frame has disappeared. That's not a problem. Then let me just say, let's say simple logo. Okay, images. Okay, let's try Pepsi logo. I think it looks simple. Let's try Pepsi logo. Okay, let's copy this. And paste it here. Paste here. Okay, for some reason it does not want to paste. Okay, so I'm not sure if the problem is with Figma or with the plugin, but it looks like, let me try drag and drop. I hope drag and drop might work. Also drag and drop doesn't work. Okay, maybe since I'm using a free version of Figma, maybe there's some limitations. I really don't know. But as long as we have a way around it. Okay, I don't think I have talked about cropping, so this is where I'm going to talk about cropping. We are not going to trace the word, we're just going to trace only this circle. So okay, now this is where our shape tools and creating custom shape technique is going to come handy. Okay, what we are going to do first, we need to lock this object. So this is where you lock it so that you cannot touch it, so it feels like it's part of the background. And also if you want to hide this layer, this is where you hide the layer. Okay, now let's take an ellipse. Let's create, by holding shift, a perfect circle. Okay, a perfect circle. Okay, let's remove the fill by deleting it here and add the stroke. And add a stroke. Let's add a green color that is going to be visible. I think this blue is better. Okay, let's zoom in by pressing plus. Okay, as you can see, this is the first shape. So what we are going to do, we are going to create custom shapes. So this is the first custom shape that we are going to draw. The first custom shape that we are going to draw. As you can see, we don't really mind. Do we mind? Let me see. Okay, let's do it like this so that we don't have to mind. Let's do it like this so that we don't have to mind. Okay, so I've got two shapes here. Let me just give this shape some colors. This is a stroke. I don't want that. I want the fill color. Yes. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select our circle. Okay, I'm going to select our circle and then I'm going to copy it. because I want to have a copy of it. Okay, then the one that is originally there, let me change the fill color. Okay, so what I want to do, I want from the background shape, I want to minus the one that is on the foreground. So let's do that. Subtract. Voila, we have our first piece. And then we still want the original circle. Let me paste it. Or let me paste it. I hope it's still here. Let me paste it. Let me check if the original circle is here. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, let me just do this. Or I can just make things easier for me and just draw another circle. It won't take much time. I thought I have copied that circle, but it looks like I have lost it. That's not a train smash. I can always draw a circle. Okay, I can always draw a circle. At least I am not that lazy. Okay, and even though it's taking me a little bit of time, but that's fine. Okay, so this is another circle. Obviously it's not as perfect as the first one, but you get the idea. So what we want to do now, we want to draw another shape. We want to draw another shape. Okay, and then we don't really mind much about this part. Undo. Okay, fill color and remove the stroke. Click this shape, the circle, this one. Okay, click this one, remove the stroke and add the shape. What we want to do, we want to select this one, the shape that is underneath, and press shift and select this one. Then from then and we subtract the shapes. Voila! What do we need now? I think we just need the color. So what we are going to do, we are going to unlock the picture underneath, and then we just sample the colors, and for me that will be it, and it will be the end of this crash course. Okay, sample the colors, happy with that, and then click here, sample the colors. That is it. Shift 1. That is our Pepsi logo. As you can see that this picture, this line is not it's not as straight as it's not as smooth as this one, but we don't really mind much at the moment because this course was just for beginners. We have reached the end of this course. So guys, if you feel like this has added value into your overall understanding of Figma, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, for me, I'm Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. Thank you so much for making this far. Obviously, in my channel, I have got some tutorials, let's say coded design. I've got some tutorials. Sorry, I'm supposed to do that on YouTube. I have got some tutorials on object-oriented programming, on CorelDRAW, and also on PHP. So please, when you've got time, go and check those courses also. Let's just click here. Okay, videos. In fact, let me just click the playlist. So as you can see in my channel, I've got jQuery for beginners, I've got CorelDRAW for beginners, I've got PHP for beginners. This one, I've got also school management system, PHP, it's in the process. And also I've got this shopping cart. So when you've got time, just check in here. I've got also conceptual PHP, which is a course for object-oriented OOP. So guys, for me, that's about it. For me, that's about it. Okay. Okay, so these are also the other videos that I have. Otherwise, for me, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.